Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the District Highlight Series. This is a series of video interviews that we, the MACUL Tech Leadership Team, are providing for Michigan educators. And our whole purpose is to look for and find out what different districts are doing to support students, staff, and families in this year of COVID. So my name is Craig Steenstra. I'm the Remote Learning and Instructional Tech Director for Hudsonville Public Schools, but also a delegate for MACUL's Tech Leadership Learning Area. And I will pass it on to Rachel and let her introduce herself.
Hi guys, I am Rachel Postle Brown. I am an elementary principal in Jenison Public Schools at Pinewood Elementary. And I also am a part of the MACUL Tech Leadership delegates. So we are super excited to learn from Coloma Community Schools today. So if Dan and Ben, you'll take a few minutes to kind of introduce yourselves and tell us what your roles are, that would be great.
Sure, yeah. I'm Ben Rhymes. I'm the Technology Director, District Improvement Chair, and various go-to guy for curricular needs in a pinch for Coloma Community Schools, assisting the superintendent.
I'm Daniel Mars. I'm a instructional tech, so I do a lot of work with teachers and students, and I also run our state and federal programs for Coloma Community Schools. We're excited to be here today.
Great. So just to get started, can you guys give us an overview of your district and maybe some of the unique changes that you've had to do within your district for COVID-19, or any ways that your district's changed due to COVID-19?
Yeah, sure. We've got roughly 1,300 students in the district, very rural district. We're actually one of the only one-to-one school districts in Berrien County, down here in our little corner of the state. This was pre-COVID as well. Chromebooks, first grade through fifth grade in the classrooms, and then a one-to-one take-home program with Chromebooks, sixth grade through 12th grade, and then the kindergartners have iPads. Of that student population, the 1,300 or so, was it 75%, Dan, is economically disadvantaged?
Correct. So we
right?
get about 75% of an economically disadvantaged population.
He's the state and federal grants guy, so he's got the exact numbers. I think it was like 30% minority students as well.
Yep, 30% minority students in our district as well. So it's a very unique blend of students and everything that happens within our area. And when we talk school of choice numbers too, like, we're a winner with some districts and a loser with other districts, but we do bring in like roughly 300, 400 school of choice kids each year. So.
All right. Thanks for that little introduction. And thinking about how you're supporting that unique population, could you talk a little bit about what ongoing structures or strategies you have that are going well, how you're supporting teachers, parents and students, anything that you're doing that you were doing maybe before COVID, or things that you introduced to kind of help address some of the challenges or opportunities we have now?
I'm trying to remember back to pre-COVID times. It seems like another era. Well, so there's a few things that we've done as far as the technology goes to support. Dan serves as an instructional technology support specialist. We also have another part-time instructional technology support specialist for our district. So two individuals that are focused on supporting the teachers and the students. And through that, sort of in 2 years ago now, we put together a camp Chromebook, if you will. It's an opportunity at the beginning of the year where the students and the teachers go through a series of courses and activities that were developed by Dan and our other instructional tech specialists to really introduce the kids not just to the device, but the Google tools and how to efficiently get around them, and then also queue up the teachers to teach with them successfully. And so that was a face-to-face thing that we did 2 years ago at the junior high, and we built on it last year. And then this year, or last year, we did make a slight transition and made it available via modules to dump into Google Classroom. And then this year, we spent a lot of time, or rather, I should say, Dan spent a lot of time revamping Camp Chromebook so that it could all be delivered virtually. And we pushed it out to our intermediate building, which is 4th and 5th grade, our junior high, and then we even made it available to the high school as well for the students, however the teachers wanted to consume it, whether it's the teachers going through it with the students going through it on their own, or at the elementary level, having Dan or Tanya, our instructional technology specialist, in the room walking the students through Camp Chromebook with the teachers.
And we revamped it a little bit this year too, because we started the year face-to-face, and we wanted to make sure that the most important pieces of instruction were done early. So we did things like navigating Google Classroom, troubleshooting your Chromebook, and checking your grades and attendance in our student information system to ensure that if we did have to go remote at some point, that those basics were done for our students and their families.
That sounds like a great program, and I'm sure that the modules would be helpful for lots of people. I mean, the kids, the families, the teachers, that was well thought ahead. That was great. What about some challenges that you guys may have faced this year, or that you've learned from, that you can kind of share so that other people could learn along with you?
Boy, I think one of the biggest challenges right off the bat, at least in the middle of the shutdown, was communicating with home. I'm sure if our district is like any other districts out there, we have a tool. We have our student information system, PowerSchool, which you can send communications through that. But realistically, the types of communications you would send through your SIS are going to be related usually to assignments and grades and things of that nature. We also have School Messenger, which has the ability for teachers to get in and send emails to either independently to students or to parents or both. And then, of course, we had teachers that were using Remind. We had teachers that were using what's the clicky
Class
one, Dan?
Dojo.
Class Dojo. Thank
Monster
you.
Points.
Yeah, I kind of blanked on that one. I appreciate it. So a lot of different tools to send communications home. And then, of course, you've got Google Classroom, so you can communicate directly to the students. And at the secondary level, we give them email so they can communicate directly between the teacher and the students. So there are so many different ways to send communications home. And our parents were just getting bombarded last spring. They were getting communications from teachers. They were getting School Messenger blasts. They were getting updates on Facebook, and we were doing weekly YouTube video updates for a while there in the summer with the superintendent. And so we decided we needed to focus on a couple pieces. And so the idea was we were all going to focus as much as possible on Google Classroom and School Messenger. So if it pertains to instruction and assignments and interaction among the class, that would happen in Google Classroom. And then the direct two-way communication would be handled through School Messenger, either through the School Messenger platform or the new School Messenger app, which functions like Remind in Class Dojo. Is there something I'm missing there, Dan?
No, I think you covered it, and just trying to find those pieces of effective communication and limiting the scope of it so that we do limit that. Like, we limit messages through School Messenger for our teachers that they can only go out between 5 and 6 p.m. And the reason for that is just that, You're not like at a secondary level. You can have first hour teacher send one at 9. Your second hour teacher sends one at 9:30. Your third hour teacher sends one at 10. And all of a sudden you've got all of these notifications, and are you going to pay attention to them? So we wanted to avoid, notification fatigue in a way. Like, it's a real thing. Like, if you see an app that has, 99 notifications on it, you're probably like, I'm not even going to look because I don't want to know. So definitely try to contain that and control that a little bit more.
I think that's great. As a parent, I definitely felt the bombarding enough messages. I'm sure everyone did. So, helping streamline for your district and really prioritizing those is a great message.
Yeah.
Definitely. You had mentioned your Chrome camp and some of the other supports that you provided for staff. Do you have anything that you could share your screen and kind of do a walkthrough of so we can get a visual, or is that something that could best share in like the show notes?
I think the show notes. I think the show notes will be best. So one of the things with Camp Chromebook, it's fully developed as a WordPress site. It's just that none of the content has been uploaded yet. So we're kind of working on getting that taken care of. But it's kind of like in that spare moment, like what spare moment can you do this? So trying to avoid that, but I will work on getting some of that stuff up so that we can share it out with the larger audience. And I'll put we created tech survival guides in the shutdown for our teachers and our families, and we'll put those in the show notes as well, just to kind of help show some of what we're doing and make those resources available from our schools.
Sounds great. I look forward to looking at those and possibly stealing some of them for my own needs. I'm sure others would as well. So without making this drag on too long, we do want to wrap it up and keep it short enough for people to actually view. So I want to thank Dan and Ben for joining us today. Really appreciate you taking some moments out of your day and sharing about your experiences. So on behalf of me, I would like to thank you for viewing as well. And Rachel, any final words?
Nope, just other than thank you so much, Ben and Daniel, for sharing. And then for anybody watching this, if you have questions, we will share contact information, because just like Craig said, there'll be some things that he wants to steal. There's definitely things I'm already writing down that I'm going to check out too. So I'm sure others will as well. And we want to make this a valuable resource for everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks again, guys.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Have a good one. All right. That was simple.